Hey, what is up, everybody? This is your boy AJTRIP, and welcome to That's a Shoot, my weekly episodic show where I talk about what's going on in the world of professional wrestling. Unless we do predictions, or unless it's the end of the year, and we're talking about the WWE Awards, which is what this is. This is the WWE Awards show. Tonight, today, whatever. I'll be giving out awards for things like Match of the Year, Performer of the Year, Superstar of the Year, and so on and so on. So, there's no doubt, let's not waste any time. Let's get straight to the action. Let's start the show with Tag Team of the Year. Where I said Tag Team of the Year, let's actually start with Rookie of the Year. This is already fucked up. It is already only 5 minutes in. Okay, Rookie of the Year. This one was very hard because it was very hard to figure out who actually started. Started in 2023, you know, or something like that, or who started late 2022, things like that, because they some of them were not even on the thing. A couple of them were in NXT, and it was so hard. This may be one of those things where I may have to. This may be the last year I do a Rookie of the Year because it's so hard to keep track of who debuted. And I tried looking on the internet, couldn't find anything about who debuted and when and things like that. So yeah, it might be tough, but we'll see. That's for next year though. This year, the nominees for Rookie of the Year are Lola Vice, who just won the NXT Breakout Tournament. Kelani Jordan, who was the runner-up in the Breakout Tournament, and she was doing stuff with Dana Brooke in the past. She had a great showing at NXT Deadline. Eddie Thorpe. Again, this is another person that I don't necessarily know if he was, if he is a true rookie. I remember first seeing him this year. I don't remember seeing him last year, but he is nominated. Charlie Dempsey, who again, he was over in NXT Europe, but I remember I never watched NXT UK. Excuse me, UK NXT Europe. So the first time I saw him was this year in 2023. And the NXT Women's Champion Lyra Valkyria. Again, first time I remember seeing her was either early this year or late last year. So to become the NXT Women's Champion in her rookie year is something. So here we are. 5 nominees for Rookie of the Year. And the winner goes to Lyra Valkyria. When you win the NXT Women's Champion in your rookie year on NXT, that means something. You defeated Becky Lynch. You had a title match before that against Trinity Stratton. You've proven yourself to be one of the players in NXT. So without question, the 2023, WWE Rookie of the Year, none other than NXT Women's Champion, Lyra Valkyria. Now we have Most Improved. The nominees are Trick Williams. Oh man, this guy has improved leaps and bounds from when he first showed up with Carmelo Hayes, and he's just become more than just about it guy. He is now a legitimate star in this business, and the stuff that is going on with him and Melo is something special. And I'm rooting for him to win that NXT Championship over Ilya Dragunov at New Year's Eve. Although I don't think that's necessarily going to happen, but I'm rooting for him totally. Tiffany Stratton spent most of the year as NXT Women's Champion, but man, she was proved after she came back from whatever she came back from, and there could be a myriad of things that she came back from, but she came back, and she was terrific in the ring. The prettiest moonsault ever. It's a fantastic finishing move. I love it. I enjoy it, and I think that it is. I think she's just got everything it is about it. I do wonder about the entire gimmick. Now I remember reading something else that they decided to get rid of the Daddy's Girl part of it. But still, there's something. I wonder if that can make it on the main roster. Now, who knows? We had the $1 Billion Princess, Stephanie McMahon, and we've had some other type of stuck-up gimmicks from women, so we'll have to wait and see. But Tiffany Stratton was tremendous this year. Ivar. Eric went down with a neck injury, gone for 9 months to a whole year. The neck injury. My thoughts to him, man. I hope he gets better. I hope everything comes out healthy and just, everything like that. I'm really thinking about the brother. But what they decided to do is, with him being out 9 to 12 months, they decided, well, we're not just going to take him off the road for 9 to 12 months. We're going to do something with him and do something with Valhalla. So and he does incredible. He had 3 great matches with Kofi Kingston. And he's had great matches with everybody, Bronson Reed and everybody else. He has been incredible. Most improved is deserved for Ivar of the Viking Raiders. The Creed brothers. Now, these guys have improved. Now, I will say, as a listener to the Jim Cornette podcast, he does not see the things in the Creed brothers. And if you watch this past Monday Night Raw, you can maybe understand why when Brutus gave the Brutus ball to Jimmy Priest and land right on his fucking face. So they're gonna have to either come up with a bigger, a better finisher or something like that, and lead the Brutus ball, to where you just be landing on people's faces or anything like that, or they're gonna have to practice that and get better at that. If you listen to Jim Cornette, you can see maybe what he's talking about when he's talking about the Creed brothers. But I actually think still that they have improved greatly over this past year, and the incredible matches that they have had and everything that has gone down with them. Now they're on the main roster, and they had a tremendous showing the first night, and the gauntlet match was incredible. So I think the Creed brothers are there for most improved. Baron Corbin. A surprise, I think, but Baron Corbin went down to NXT after the failed thing with JBL happened. He went down to NXT and he seemed to have gotten better. He's always been a good promo, and he's always had a different type of moveset. He's always been more of a brawler, not necessarily someone who's like a wrestler. But if you've seen some of the matches that he's had, he's actually doing wrestling moves that I've never seen him do before. So that's incredible, and he's still the guy that is a monster. He's still the guy who's going to lock on a hold and things like that, because that's what you're supposed to do as a heel. That's what you're supposed to do as a big man. But he's been throwing out some moves nowadays that have just been incredible. So I think you got to nominate him for most improved of 2023. And finally, Dominic Mysterio. He keeps getting better and better. He's had a couple of great matches this year with Dragon Lee. And he's been part of some other great stuff. Although admittedly, his most improved, as with last year, was more about his character work than it has been his in-ring stuff. I think his in-ring stuff is good going. He's not as bad as people say. People think he's bad in the ring. No, he's not bad in the ring. In the wrestling world, he's still very green. He's still green. Like, you can be wrestling 2 or 3, 4 years and still be green. So I think that's what Mysterio is. He's still kind of very green. But he is a legit superstar. The crowd boos him anytime he's on the screen, and yes, he's well deserved of being most improved on this list. And with that said, you see the 6 nominees. The winner of most improved of the year is Tiffany Stratton. I mean, this was a no-brainer. She is just incredible. Incredible on the mic, incredible in the ring. She knows what her character is, and she plays it to a T. A tremendous year for Tiffany Stratton. She is ready for a main roster call-up, and I would assume that she will be one of should be 5 or 6 people called up to the main roster after WrestleMania weekend. So, good job for Tiffany Stratton, one of the most improved wrestlers this year in 2023. By the way, if you did not know, I saw this on TikTok. She seems to be dating Ludwig Kaiser. So, unfortunately, to all the brothers out there, we let one go. I'm just joking. Timothy Stratton, most improved 2023. Okay, so now we're at Tag Team of the Year. Nominees are Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. Held the undisputed WWE Tag Team Champions for most of 2023. Tremendous matches, tremendous drama from these two. Amazing, worthy of a nomination. Pretty Deadly was called up in the draft, and they've done some pretty good work on SmackDown. They was out for a month or so with injuries, as one of the guys had a shoulder injury, but they've come back, they put on a show, and now they're they're still in the field with Butch, as Rich Holland is on NXT now, and Butch is by himself. So I don't know if Sheamus is going to come back on in a couple of weeks, but we'll have to wait and see. The Judgment Day. They are now the reigning and defending undisputed WWE Tag Team Champions, and Priest and Balor have been great as well this year. Just a tremendous guys. Since they won it, they lost it pretty quickly to Cody and Jey Uso, but won them back just as quick, and they have done some really good stuff, competing on with Damian Priest as still holding the Money in the Bank briefcase. The Life of the Party, Katana Chance and Kaden Carter. They recently just won the Women's Tag Team Championship. Now, I didn't want to leave the women out. Now, I would say this: when it comes to a lot of these categories, I didn't want to leave the women out because I didn't think that they deserved it. There just wasn't, not a lot of, I don't want to say not a lot of good stuff, but maybe not a lot of stuff needed to be nominated from them. So I felt the need to maybe nominate them. Maybe this is a pity nomination for them, as they just won it and something like that. But they've been a tag team for most of the year. So I thought if it was one team that needed to be nominated from the women's division, it was them, and that's who it was. The Street Profits. I'm kind of confused now, because now it seems like the Street Profits and WWE last year are back to being baby faces. So I don't know what's going on with that. So we'll have to wait and see what goes on with that. But yeah, the Street Profits are up, and they're wanting to smoke, and they were they were okay this year. But worthy of a nomination. And of course, Alpha Academy did some great stuff this year. They had a fun rivalry with the Viking Raiders, who could have been nominated this year as well. But they did some great stuff, and I thought they did a great job this year. And after Chad Gable went on his own, now they brought in Tozawa for Tozawa and Otis to kind of team together, and they beat the Alpha Academy as Chad Gable looks to continue going after the Intercontinental Championship. So that's a very interesting tag right there. So, but Alpha Academy worthy of a nomination this year. Great nominees, great tag teams. Only one can win. The winner of WWE's 2023 Tag Team of the Year is the Judgment Day. I think they really showed what tag team wrestling is about this year, and I think they've been the best team. They've been the most interesting team. And some may say that Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, maybe it wasn't their fault that they wasn't so interesting and didn't have an interesting tag team reign or anything like that. But I think it's probably a combination of so. Kevin Owens and Sami, as good of a moment as it was for them to win on WrestleMania, maybe it doesn't necessarily the best thing for the actual tag division itself. So, and the thing I've had a problem with is that neither team really has made too many appearances on SmackDown. In New Year, that has to change. You hear me, Triple H? That has to change. The undisputed, don't split the belts up, but the undisputed tag champions need to make more of more journeys over to SmackDown, and hopefully the next champions after the Judgment Day, that will happen. And I thought that might be a Creed Brothers this past Monday, but it wasn't. But there you have winners of the Tag Team of the Year 2023, the Judgment Day. All rise. Next up, Rivalry of the Year. The nominees are Gunther versus Chad Gable. This was a mini rivalry, but it was one of the most effective rivalries, getting Gable very over as a babyface and a single star, in fact. So, in fact, that he could still be the one to dethrone Gunther at WrestleMania. Cody Rhodes versus Brock Lesnar. 3 pretty damn good matches between these 3, including one that ended up with a shoot a little bit as Brock Lesnar acknowledged Cody Rhodes. Trish Stratus versus Becky Lynch. This was a roller coaster emotion, ending up with a complete and utter great match. One that will be nominated later on in this program. The Bloodline Civil War. Roman and Solo versus the Usos, and it just went on from there. Through Roman and Jay another time, and then Jay and Jimmy, and things that happened like that. So this was a tremendous rivalry, but inside the Bloodline, and I think it's going to pick up very, very soon. Ilya Dragunov versus Carmelo Hayes. 3 matches, 3 almost perfect matches from all 3 matches from Ilya Dragunov and Carmelo Hayes. Tremendous. And Ilya is still in the midst of a Carmelo Hayes drama, as Carmelo Hayes is the one that said that Ilya is the one that not only attacked him, but attacked Trick Williams. And finally, the Judgment Day versus the Raw Babyface. This was the longest rivalry of the year. You know, Judgment Day taking on Cody Rhodes, taking on Seth Rollins, taking on Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, taking on when Jey Uso got over there, taking on Jey Uso, taking on so many of the Raw babyfaces. That it was just, for some people, it was tiring, as almost every Monday night started with the Judgment Day and you ended with the Judgment Day. But you know what? I enjoyed it. That's why it's nominated for Rivalry of the Year. Judgment Day versus the Raw Babyfaces. 6 tremendous rivalries, where only one can win. The winner of Rivalry of the Year 2023 is... It's, of course, the Bloodline. Anything involving Roman Reigns, Jimmy Uso, Jey Uso, and Solo Sikoa, and the Wise Man, Paul Heyman, has been the most interesting thing on television for the last 24 months or so, ever since Roman Reigns came back from his sabbatical during the pandemic to win when he came back and destroyed The Fiend and destroyed Braun Strowman. It has been incredible what this has done for WWE. Some people don't want to give Roman credit, but he has presided as the man over the most profitable era in WWE in a long time, if not ever. He is the man. He is the greatest superstar this business has ever seen. Well, not ever seen, but has seen in a long time. And so does man of respect. And his cousins, Solo, Jimmy, and Jay, have done their part perfectly. And we're still not done. Because it looks like Jimmy could be somehow very soon excommunicated from the Bloodline. And of course, we're going to have Jay and Jimmy. They're going to somehow get to Jay and Jimmy at WrestleMania, aren't we? So yeah, that's what I think. I think we have a true Bloodline Civil War happening. And it's going to be great to watch. And that's why the Bloodline, fighting within each other, is the 2023 Rivalry of the Year. Our next award is Premium Live Event of the Year. The nominations are WWE Fastlane. This was a match that, not a match, but a show that was almost put up on the last minute, but it turned out to be a damn good pay-per-view. And this was the one where Jay and Cody won the tag team championships, and we had that tremendous after the media scrum where we first heard Money in the Bank. Again, a very good show. We had some great matches, and of course we had the Bloodline Civil War to end the matches, and pretty good premium live event. The Royal Rumble, always a tremendous pay-per-view, tremendous premium live event, and it was no different this year. The return of Cody Rhodes, what Gunther and Rhea Ripley did in their own prospective main events. And of course, the whole drama with the Bloodline, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, was tremendous, and it was one of the greatest Royal Rumbles in a long time. NXT No Mercy. We're talking about with the Ilya Dragunov, Carmelo Hayes match being a 5-star match, and then we're also talking about Becky Lynch and Tiffany Stratton having a Extreme Rules match, which was tremendous as well to finish off the premium live event. Wonderful, wonderful job. And then WrestleMania 39. By my account, it had 3 5-star matches. It had 3 matches of 3 other matches that was 4.5 stars, and then it had a tremendous 4-star match between Dominic Mysterio and Rey Mysterio. Over 2 nights, again, I am still a person that says, one night WrestleMania is great, but over 2 nights they put on tremendous shows, and you can't rip them for that. So it was a tremendous show. The 5 nominees for Premium Live Event of the Year. Only one can win. The winner for Premium Live Event of the Year is WrestleMania 39. Yeah, listen, I mentioned it. I just mentioned it. We talked about, let me just go up here. We had Seth Rollins versus Logan Paul. We had the SmackDown Women's title match. We had the Tag Team title match. We had the Intercontinental title match, and then we had the Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns World WWE title match. And then not to mention the fact that we had, again, I talked about Dominic Mysterio and Rey Mysterio had a tremendous match. So it was just an incredible event, some great stuff, some fun stuff. Shane McMahon came back, tore his ACL as soon as he got in the ring, and then Snoop had to improvise with the help of the referee, and then he beat The Miz. So it is what it is. But WrestleMania 39 is a definitely the greatest PLE this year. Now let's see if WrestleMania 40 can break that. WWE is all about moments. So let's talk about them. The moments of the year. The nominees are Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens beating the Usos in the main event of Night 1 of WrestleMania to win the WWE Tag Team Championships. We talked about the story behind this and what it meant so much. The frenemies that Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn are coming back together to be friends once again to take down the longest reigning tag team champions of all time, the Usos. Pretty damn good moment. Lyra Valkyria beating Becky Lynch to win the NXT Championship. Came out of nowhere. You wondered who was going to beat Becky Lynch for that NXT champion. Could someone like Jade Cargill do it, who hasn't debuted yet? Could Tiffany Stratton have it back? Roxanne Perez? Who could it have been? Shocking that it was Lyra Valkyria, but they've made a new star, and that's exactly what she is now. She's a new star, and she is an NXT Women's Champion. Jimmy Uso turning on Roman Reigns. This was by far just an incredible moment. Night of Champions, the Tag Team Championships on the line. Roman and Solo taking on Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. The Usos come out. What you think is help, but no, Jimmy puts down Roman not only with one super kick, but with two super kicks, turning his back on the bloodline and starting the bloodline civil war, which just won rivalry of the year. Amazing. And then that leads to Jey Uso pinning Roman Reigns. The first time Roman Reigns had been pinned in over 3 years. The last time was 2019 December. Baron Corbin did it. And then June of early this year, July 1st it was, we had Jey Uso pin Roman Reigns in a tag match for the Usos to beat Roman and Solo. Tremendous stuff. Cinema, drama, all that good stuff. I mean, listen, be honest with you guys, I don't know what can beat that. CM Punk returning to the place he said he was never going to come back, to the place he badmouthed for a decade, and all of a sudden he's back. What can beat that? Oh, yeah, the greatest superstar of all time, Dwayne Johnson, returns to SmackDown, has a confrontation with Austin Theory. That can beat CM Punk. But did it? Let's find out. The winner of the WWE 2023 Moment of the Year is... Yeah, I'm sorry, Rock. It's CM Punk coming back to WWE. I mean, listen. I just talked about it. Almost 10 years since he walked out. The stuff that he has talked about, the stuff that he has said about this company and the wrestlers in this company, and everything that goes along with it, and to just come back and be accepted back is just amazing. And I know some people, they are waiting for the next shoe to fall, and that shoe can very well fall, and it will be disappointing if it fell. But for me, I'm going to enjoy this while I can, because whether he's doing this in some type of kayfabe way, or whether this is truly how he felt, and there's a part of me that thinks that is how he felt, because there was always rumors about him wanting to come back when he was hired by Fox to do WWE backstage. There was always those rumors that he wanted to come back. He wanted to get back into WWE, just that Vince wasn't too keen on it. So, but I always felt, so I think that there was always a part of him that wanted to come back at some point and make amends. It couldn't happen. So he went to a place that he could. He could go, and stuff happened there. And I think he's kind of seen that for all the stuff that he thought he went through in WWE, and he talked about it and everything. We didn't have to go over it. But to me, the stuff that happened to him in AEW made WWE look like made it look like Google. Made it look like other to like the AEW version of the McDonald's Playhouse. So I don't know what's gonna happen, but I do think the CM Punk Moment of the Year coming back to WWE, it may be the biggest moment in this short decade. And we had Vince McMahon being ousted. He was ousted from his, from his thing as owner of WWE. But CM Punk is back. Wow. And I do believe that he means it when he says he is home. Because this is his home. I don't care what people say about Ring of Honor, things like that. Ring of Honor gave him a name. WWE gave him a place to be a superstar. And that's what he is. That's why WWE is home. Performer of the Year. Now this is just on ring performances alone. What they do in the ring. The wrestling matches. Who was the Performer of the Year? The nominees are The American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. Tremendous year in the ring. Great stuff. Maybe he had one or two knickknacks here and there. But he did some great stuff in the ring this year. And Brock Lesnar, tag matches, stuff with Judgment Day. He was tremendous this year in the ring. Tiffany Stratton. The reason why she won, one of the reasons why she won Most Improved was the fact that she was improved in the ring. And that is tremendous, stuff that she did. And that she had some very interesting matches. She had a great submission match or a quick match, whatever it was, with Thea Hale. And she had some other great stuff as well. Part of the ladder match at Stand and Deliver. I mean, she was truly awesome. She was truly awesome this year. The match with Becky Lynch stands on its own. That's tremendous. Tiffany Stratton, a nominee. Ilya Dragunov. By my account, Ilya Dragunov has had a 4.5-star match with Dijak. He had 2 5-star matches with Carmelo Hayes, and he's probably on his way to having more. So Ilya Dragunov had a great year in ring, from him, and he is the NXT champion. I think that's why Sean put it on him. The Gunther, the Ring General, amazing year. He just continues to put on matches, and he continues to just have tremendous, great matches, stuff worthy of matches. He had matches this year that were great, and I'll be honest with you, I had a tough time not putting some of his matches that he had on, television in the Match of the Year category. The only reason why I didn't put any of his matches on there is because when it comes to matches on TV, because of the commercial breaks and things like that, it's very hard to get the sense of the entire match, something like that. So you don't necessarily know, what exactly it is. But the matches, the most recent one with Miz could have been a 5-star match. The matches with Gable, the matches with Bronson Reed, the matches with Ciampa, and so many other matches he's had this year for the Intercontinental title on television was just stand out incredible. Not including the matches that he had on actual premium live events. So truly amazing Gunther this year, worthy of a nominee of Performer of the Year. Carmelo Hayes. Again, we talked about the 2 5-star matches he had with Ilya. He had a tremendous match with Braun Breaker to win the NXT Championship at Stand and Deliver. And he's put on matches on television, time and time again. Great performer, great in the ring. He's ready. He's another one ready for a call-up. And I hope he gets it. Logan Paul. Listen. Logan Paul had 5 matches. Right? He was in the Royal Rumble. He was at WrestleMania with Seth Rollins. He was in Money in the Bank. He was in SummerSlam with Ricochet, and he was at Crown Jewel against Rey Mysterio. All of those matches are at least 4 stars. Now the Royal Rumble, you say he's not, you know, that he's just a part of it. That's not about him, but yeah, but the match with Seth Rollins, he's a part of it. The match, you know, the match with Ricochet, he's a part of it. The match with Rey Mysterio, he's a part of it. The Money in the Bank match again is an ensemble. But man, he continues to prove what he was. Now, there was one thing where I think this last match kind of showed again. Someone was green as hell. He's only had like 5, 8, 9 matches in his entire career. I'm telling you, man, if they could get this guy for just 1 year to go on the road and do this like each and every night, he might turn into the greatest of all time. with his athleticism, and he's just a natural at it, absolute natural. So, and even though he only had 5 matches, those 5 matches were tremendous, and he's on that list because of that. And I expect he'll be on it again next year. And Seth Rollins, just a consummate professional, just like Cody Rhodes, doesn't seem to have a bad match in him. He's had great TV matches with Jey Uso and with Sami Zayn and with many others, great pure live event matches with Drew McIntyre and Finn Balor and Nakamura and AJ Styles to win that World Heavyweight Championship. Tremendous player, tremendous guy, just amazing in the ring. Your 7 nominees, ladies and gentlemen, for Performer of the Year. But like I always say, only one can win. Or can they? I've had ties in the past. Well, I couldn't choose one, and I had to tie. So, could this be it? Let's see. The winner of Performer of the Year 2023 is... Yeah, it's Gunther. This is one of these slam dunk ones where it's just... He's had such a tremendous year. It's like almost no one else was even close for him. And... that's saying something. There's a lot of times the people on the independent guys who they love their guys, and they kind of just prove out to be not necessarily what you would think is when they get to WWE or they get anywhere else. Like Keith Lee was one of them. You know, people on the Indies loved Keith Lee, but he just wasn't. He didn't show a lot, at least in WWE, and it wasn't his fault. He came down with COVID, and I think he had long COVID actually, and there's a lot of things that just went down, and other like that. Then he got released, and now he's in AEW, and the AEW stuff, the AEW, as in like the root beer. The AEW stuff is not going very well for him over there as well, and he's completely like gone gray and things like that. Not a good look, so. You know, Keith Lee's one of those guys. I think he was better off just being on the Indies, being the Indies guy, than maybe trying to make a name for himself in the big time. But not Gunther. Gunther has just he's been tremendous. Some people call him the perfect wrestler. I'm not sure about that, but he is. But the one thing about Gunther is that he knows who he is, and he knows how to work. He knows how to work all types of styles. He knows how to work with luchadors. Knows how to work with quote-unquote entertainers like The Miz. He knows how to work with catch-can wrestlers as Chad Gable. He knows it all. Oh, I would, and I think the thing is that the thing about it is that exactly what he is. Like he doesn't have to do garbage matches. He doesn't have to do, steel cage matches, or he doesn't have to do Hell in a Cell matches. And he's going to do those matches. I'm assuming in WWE once he gets the right. The right program, he'll have those matches in him, and I'm sure he'll be great at them. But he doesn't need to do that right now, and I like that. So, Gunther is your 2023 WWE Performer of the Year. Match of the Year. Where 2 people just get together in the ring, or however many people get in the ring, and everything clicks, and it's just pure and utter magic. Now, my things for match of the year have been that I would have had to have rated a 4.5-star match or higher to be nominated. for match of the year. There were so many matches that were over 4.5 stars this year that I actually had to maybe change it and just go with the nominees are all 5-star matches. All matches that I rated 5 stars this year. You know, back a couple of weeks ago, I did a thing where I asked, was this WWE's best in-ring year ever? And there's a great answer for that to be yes. And here's why. Let's take a look at the nominees for match of the year. Ilya Dragunov versus Carmelo Hayes, No Mercy. This is one of the 5-star matches that they had on one of the Premium Live events, and it was just amazing. You know, ending with Ilya beating Carmelo Hayes and finally winning the NXT Championship. It's a truly amazing match, epic storytelling. Just a great thought from these two guys. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn versus the Usos, WrestleMania 39 main event night 1. Again, the drama, the cinema of it all, and the fact that you had like Sami Zayn giving the boot to Jey Uso, and Jey Uso falling in Sami's arms like Kevin would do, like Kevin did at the Survivor Series. That's amazing. Again, the great moment nominated for the moment of the year. Great match, just wonderful. A great way for the Usos to end their title reign with a 5-star classic. Truly amazing. Gunther versus Drew McIntyre versus Sheamus. And I saw something a while ago that this match is like only 17 minutes. And I'm thinking, wow, really? Because it just felt like it was like 25. But it was only 17. And these guys beat the living hell out of each other. It was truly amazing. This is one of the reasons why Gunther is the performer of the year. He just went up there and just had tremendous matches. And these guys, and he had 3 guys there that don't mind just getting the hell beat out of them. And that's what this did. They beat the hell out of each other in this match. Gunther came out the IC champion, and it was retaining it, and it was just truly amazing. Loved it. Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes, main event night 2. There are still people out there who think that the wrong person won, but they're wrong. For many reasons, I did a video about that as well. You can go back and check and look for that video. But this match was everything. It was great before the ending. Now this is what I would say. You know, some people have a bit of a problem, and I understand it, with the Cody Rhodes doing the 2 crossroads, going for a third, and then when Solo Sikoa hits the Samoan spike, all of a sudden Roman, who kind of should be like out, right? He should be out of it, kind of after 2 crossroads. He kind of just shakes it off, runs to the ropes, and then hits a spear and beats Cody Rhodes. I understand that, and I'm someone who would just love for a finish to actually be a finish to a match, right? Maybe if you want to do, maybe because if it's WrestleMania, if you want to do multiple kickouts of finishers, like Roman hits a spear and Cody Rhodes kicks out, or Cody Rhodes hits a crossroads and Roman Reigns kicked out, I'm fine with just WrestleMania. It's the biggest night of wrestling, right? I understand that, but yeah, I think if you can hit 3 crossroads or at least 2 crossroads on Roman Reigns, and he gets stopped before he hits the third, there needs to be a moment where Roman Reigns wakes up, then goes and hits a spear. So, but still a tremendous match and a 5-star match. That one little criticism isn't going to curtail that this was a great match, 5-star match. Trish Stratus versus Becky Lynch at Payback. For my record, this is the only 5-star match in WWE history for the women. I think I've got this match is 5 stars. I've got Becky Lynch versus Charlotte Flair at Evolution at 4 3/4 stars. I think I probably got another match. I got 4.5 stars. And then I think I've got the match with Shasa and Bailey. Maybe I even guess the Brooklyn match between Sasha and Bailey. I either have that at 4.25 or I have it at 4.5. It's not a 5-star match like some people think. It's not. It's not. It just isn't. But it's a damn good match. You know, give those two credit. But it's just not. This is the best match in WWE's women's history, and Trish Stratus and Becky Lynch put it all on the line. Trish Stratus proven that at 48 she can still go in that ring. And I know she's been off television for a while, and I don't know if she's going to come back. But I would like to see her come back. One last run. Let's go to WrestleMania 40. Let's have a match at WrestleMania 40, and then you can ride out on the sunset. You know, again. And Damian Priest and Bad Bunny for Backlash, the San Juan street fight. I don't know what the people backstage do with these celebrities, but they have made Logan Paul into a premier wrestler, and Bad Bunny comes in, and he's just incredible. Now this match I think was originally going to be like a tag match. I think it was going to be Ray. I think it was going to be Ray and Bad Bunny versus Dominic and Priest. But something changed, and they decided to go with just Priest versus Bad Bunny. And I wonder if they did that to see if Priest could handle being a top guy. Because a top guy is going to lead somebody like Bad Bunny, who's a celebrity, who's not a professionally trained wrestler, who can do some stuff, wrestling wise in the ring. But he's going to lead him to a good match. Damian Priest led him to a 5-star classic. A tremendous match. One of the best matches ever. And then that's why Damian Priest got the Money in the Bank briefcase. I'm almost sure of it. Because that match was incredible. And then all the things going into it with Savio Vega coming out, and then Carlito came back, and it's just such fun, such great stuff here, and I enjoyed the hell out of it. Damian Priest versus Bad Bunny. You don't talk about somebody who has 5-star matches like Bad Bunny has a 5-star match, and Logan Paul get nominated for Wrestler of the Year, Performer of the Year. What is going on? But that's neither here nor there. You've got 6 nominees. Let's see who wins. Everybody, the winner for the WWE Match of the Year of 2023 is... Yeah, listen, I had a hard time choosing, but to me, this is good. If I was someone who would break the rating, I guess you would say, this would have been like 5.5 stars, I guess. But I'm not an idiot, and I don't do that. If we go up to 5 stars, and that's what it is. But not all 5-star matches are the same. Not all 5-star matches are the same. And this one was, I think, maybe the best one of the year for WWE. And it involved a multi-winning, multi-million-dollar Grammy award-winning artist and Mr. Money in the Bank. Whew. Way to go, guys. Damian Priest, Bad Bunny, the 2023 Match of the Year. Insane. Last, but definitely not least, is Superstar of the Year. Now, while Performer of the Year just concentrates on the in-ring stuff, Superstar of the Year involves everything that goes around it. Not only the work that you did in the ring, the work that you did out of the ring, the character, the character work, the promos, everything that goes into it. That's what makes you a superstar. And we have the nominees for Superstar of the Year. Here we are. The nominees are Tiffany Stratton. I've talked about this a couple of times with her. The in-ring was incredible. Her character work was incredible. Everything about her screamed star. And then she had that match with Becky Lynch and she became a superstar. Truly amazing. Tiffany Stratton. Roman Reigns. What can you say about him? Now, he hasn't been around a lot this year, but he doesn't need to be. He is the biggest superstar in this business, you know, and he knows it, and he's been able to take time off because of it. Now, again, I will say this as always. I hope that his time off has nothing to do with any of his cancer or any other sickness or anything like that. But even if it isn't, and he's just taking time off, I'm perfectly fine with it. For me, the champion doesn't need to be on television each and every week. He definitely doesn't need to be wrestling each and every week, even though that's what Seth Rollins has been doing, and it's been okay that he's been doing that. But still, I say the main champion, Roman Reigns, does not need to be on television each and every week, wrestling each and every week. Cody Rhodes, the American Nightmare. What else can you say about him? The stuff that he has done, the character work that he has shown, time and time again, and he's added little bits and pieces of his character, switches and changes almost every couple of weeks, every couple of months, and it's amazing. And for those who thought that fans would get tired of him, like the AEW fans get tired of him, I don't think that is not what it is. And I think one of the reasons why is because he knows who he is. I don't think he knew who he was in AEW. He knows who he is here in WWE, and that's because he is also now home. LA Knight, yeah. Talk about someone who came out of nowhere from that match at the beginning of the year with the late Bray Wyatt in that Mountain Dew pitch black match, which was just to maybe not being thought of, and then LA Knight thought that he was going to even get fired at one point, to becoming maybe one of the most up and coming stars in this business. LA Knight, truly amazing, and he's got the ring work, he's got the mic skills. More than he has the mic skills, and he just has the star look. He's an older person. He's like in his 40s because obviously he's been touring around the Indies as well. But that doesn't mean nothing. You give him a shot to be a champion, and he's going to be a champion. And I think he will maybe get that shot, but I think it might be the World Heavyweight Champion. I'm not sure about the WWE Champion, but we'll wait and see about that. Jey Uso, yeet. This is amazing. Now, people have been talking about this for a while. Before this past Monday night, Jey Uso's lost every singles match he's had since he come to Raw. He's lost every singles match he has come to Raw. But when that new music comes on, it's just me, Oos. Day one-ish. It's the crowd immediately started. And when he first started doing this, I was wondering, is that gonna get over? Now the crowd was doing it at that time. I think that was at that Fastlane pay-per-view when he it was some pay-per-view. I think it might have been Fastlane. I don't know. I can't remember. It might have been the one before then. But he had came out and he had the folks, and he started doing this, and the folks were doing it. But I wonder, is that gonna catch on? Now, as soon as that music hits, they start doing it, and he's gotten yeet over as something you just say. Everything now is a yeet down, and get these yeetings and yeet. So it just is what it is. And Jey Uso's, you call him Jey Uso for a reason. I don't think it's no longer just a phrase given to him by the wise man and the tribal chief. He's truly main event Jey Uso. He can main event any show at any time in any place, and the crowd would believe it. The Ring General Gunther, the performer of the year, we got to be on the superstar of the year, right? He's been on the mic a little bit more, talking a little bit more. Of course, the stuff in the ring is just incredible. He is what it is. Gunther. And now we have Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins is talked about it. He's been trying to make the World Heavyweight Championship on the level of the Undisputed Championship. He's done a pretty effective job wrestling night in, night out. They at one point did this backstory thing that they've kind of dropped, I think. And now he's going to be wrestling Drew McIntyre at day one for their World Heavyweight Championship. And it should be a pretty damn good match. There are some people out there, and myself included, that would like to see the title off of Seth Rollins. Just in particular, I think there's some other places that you can go. But listen, with the thing that they've had going on right now with CM Punk, and listen, you can maybe say CM Punk and Seth Rollins doesn't need the championship. I think you could have CM Punk and Seth Rollins main event night one without it being a championship, because it needs to be, because it can, if you make it go, a little bit further, if you go, such as far as, that they can't be stopped, that they need to be put inside Hell in a Cell or something like that, then you could definitely, I think you could definitely see this as CM Punk and Seth Rollins match be a main event match, and not have it be the the championship match. But I think that's the way they're going. So, but we've got some definitely people that we need to do. We've got to get Damian Priest the championship. I don't want another failed cash in. Not with someone like Damian Priest. Not with someone else. I'll take a failed cash in on someone who has maybe been champion before, or someone who maybe doesn't exactly need it. Like, failed cash in for John Cena makes sense. A failed cash in, well, the other failed cash ins maybe necessarily doesn't necessarily make any sense. Like Baron Corbin, but that was a punishment, obviously. And then there's Damien Sandow, which was ridiculous as well. Is there any other failed cash-ins? No, I don't think so. I think all the cash-ins pretty much worked. So, I would like to see Damian Priest, get that championship. So, we'll have to wait and see. But Seth Rollins did some great stuff today, and did great stuff this year. And he ended his 2023 was now the feud going to, maybe what might be the feud of 2024 with CM Punk, which is insane to say. There are 7 nominees, ladies and gentlemen, for Superstar of the Year. Let me say it? Yeah, I'm going to say it. Only one can win. So your winner for Superstar of the Year is... Yeah, listen, it's Roman Reigns. And I know what some people might say, really? A guy who's had 5 matches this year? A guy who's, spent more time off TV than on TV? A guy that, is just gone from television? He's your Superstar of the Year? But like I've said, he's been in the most impactful things in WWE this year. The stuff with Cody Rhodes, and then the Bloodline Civil War, and now he's having stuff right now with Randy Orton and Nelly Knight and AJ Styles. When he shows up, everything becomes more important. And to me, that's the surefire sign of a superstar, the biggest superstar, and not only WWE, but of all of professional wrestling, sports entertainment. He is the biggest box office draw there is, point blank, period, end of discussion. No one beats him. No one. And no one can. At least not right now. So for that, and that alone, Roman Reigns is the 2023 Superstar of the Year. And maybe even by my calculations, that might be the 3rd consecutive year Roman Reigns has won. I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't keep up with these. At some point, I do need to go back and like make a tally of everything, and I will do that at one point. But right now, Roman Reigns, I definitely know this is back-to-back years without question. He's a superstar here last year without a doubt. So, at least I think he was. I shouldn't say that and I go back and find out it was someone else. But Roman Reigns is your 2023 Superstar of the Year. Alright, so there you have it. The 2023 WWE Awards. Quickly going right back over them. We've got Lyra Valkyria winning Rookie of the Year. We've got CM Punk as Moment of the Year returning. We've got Gunther as Performer of the Year. WrestleMania 39 as Premium Live Event of the Year. The Judgment Day as Tag Team of the Year. We've got Rivalry of the Year as The Bloodline imploding. We've got Match of the Year is Bad Bunny vs. Damian Priest. The Most Improved of the Year is Tiffany Stratton. And Superstar of the Year is Roman Reigns. Did I say Performer of the Year Gunther? I think I did. So, yeah, but that's all it has. There we have it. The 2023 winners of the WWE Awards. This is always a great year. This was one of the best years to do this, and I'm glad that it happened, and I'm glad I'm able to do this actually, because some of you who have followed my journey knows that there's been a lot of this where I wouldn't have the opportunity to do something like this and putting up like the pictures and other things like that, and it would just be like bare bones. I was able to add maybe a little more spice to it for y'all, so I'm glad about that as well. So there you have it. Post your comments down below. Tell me what you guys think. Let me know what you guys felt about the awards. Do you think somebody else should have won any of these awards? Let me know down in the comment section. And give me your thoughts on who you think would be the winners of these awards. Let me know down in the comment section. Like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. And as always, thank you guys so much for watching. And as always, at the end of these award shows, we send love and grace and our thoughts to the family and friends of the wrestlers we lost this year in 2023. May each one of these rest in peace.